So one of the viewers of my previous videos asked if I could make a video about a new class system that they added. So when you join a game in conflict, you pick a faction, then you end up in a group menu. And those are the default groups that exist when the game starts. You can pick any group you want. Let's say, for example, I picked the transport group. I go back. And on the spawn screen, you can see I have the loadout of driver I can pick. And there's only one loadout because the transport group only has the driver loadout. Let's say I want to pick another one. Say I want to pick the assault group. Let's look at the loadouts. So you have rifleman, automatic rifleman, grenadier, combat medic, RTO, sniper. Let's look at some other groups. The recon group has scout, scout radio operator, sniper. So I don't think that whole system is a good idea. I think the idea that players get a set of standard groups from the start of the game that are pre-configured so they can just join and start playing the game. That idea in itself isn't bad. Like you can pick, you want to play assault, recon, like for new players. But the problem is, Reforger is a game where you spawn in, you go to the armory, and then you precisely pick the items you want. So you're never really boxed into a very specific loadout. Now you can still ignore that system for the most part. You can still just spawn in and pick what you want in the armory. That hasn't been removed. However, the problem is there's no button for skipping the group menu or just getting, like, what if I want to just spawn in with a rifle and 2 magazines? That option doesn't exist. Which means I have to game the group menu system to spawn with a loadout in a squad that has the least cost, because I'm going to retool my loadout the moment I spawn in at the armory. And previously, I also ignored the group system for the most part, because I think that's the beauty of Arma Reforger, that you can make your groups organically by simply walking up to the armory. You talk to other players and you go on a mission together. Or you meet players on the road, or you make up your own things during the game. And there's another problem. Because you can make your own groups. In itself, that's a pretty cool thing. Like, you can pick an archetype. Those are presets, like recon, machine gun, engineer. And I use cheats to get my rank up to major. Some of those are completely grayed out. And some of those are grayed out because they already exist. So there's only one archetype group, possible ones, I think. Let's say I pick a machine gun team. I can give it a name, description. Let's see what I can get if I pick the machine gun team. Now, what loadouts do I have? I have machine gunner and machine gunner assistant. So can you see the problem here already? Like the game uses a pre-imposed configuration of loadouts and squad compositions and tries to force it on the gameplay. But what if I want to want to build a machine gun with a tripod? Let's say I want to have my M60, second player to carry the tripod, and 2 other players to carry the ammo for him. Now, I can't do that now because I only have a 2-man squad. So if I pick the machine gun squad, I have 2 other guys to go in another squad, which doesn't make any sense. And then you see how you basically have to break the squad system to adapt the specific squad composition you want to have. And for me, Reforger was always a game where you can experiment with different, let's call it doctrines. Like, for example, the term, if you go back to the assault groups. See, automatic rifleman. I'm not sure, the first time I saw the term automatic rifleman in a video game was it in squad or was it in reality mod? Now, my question is that like a doctrinal term in the US Army, automatic rifleman? Or was it the made-up term by some loadout system? Because the difference, like, I'm pretty sure that a lot of other armies don't have the distinction in the weapon systems. I know, for example, in the German language, there's no such thing as a battle rifle. You only have assault rifles, which is, it could be an FN-FAL, it could be G36 or an M16 or an AK-47. Like, there's no battle rifle distinction, like, for a larger caliber. And I'm not sure if the Russian army or the Soviet army in 1989 would make a distinction by name between an RPK-74 and a PKM. Now, they are different weapons, but would they also call it, like, something in the equivalent in Russian for automatic rifleman. Because it feels to me that's like somebody in, let me explain this way. Reforger has a lot of great ideas that make it unique compared to other Milsim games. But then I have the suspicion somebody in the offices at Bohemia really wants this to be like Squad, which I think is a bad idea. Like, the only things that are better in Squad are reload animations and weapon sounds. So here's how we change the system. What the game should do is, instead of these prefix loadouts, the game should just like remove the archetypes for squads and just give players like a how to call it, like some type of archetype spawn. So you can spawn as a normal rifleman, uniform, with a basic gun and 2 magazines, or you can spawn as a crewman, so you can spawn with a pre-configured uniform and like a basic weapon to defend yourself, and the rest you do at the armory. Because I think there are too many different tactical concepts that you can try out in this game, like large machine gun team, small machine gun team, lone sniper, sniper team, whatever. And the current squad and loadout system gets in the way of that.